I'm so glad that we are together tonight because tonight is the equinox. Well, actually, the energy of the equinox is yesterday, today, tomorrow, and even into the next day because equinox energy, like the solstice energy, spans a period of a time. And it's very, of course, there is an exact moment of equinox, but the energy really embraces 2-3 days usually, just like the new moon energy and the full moon energy. So when we're working with those kind of cosmic energies, it's great to think of a 2 or 3 day period. So let's give some time to let more of you come on. Really great to see you joining. And of course, this is a time for you to ask your questions as well. Because actually there's already been quite a few questions that have come in via email and via the Facebook posts already, because a lot of you are really feeling the energy of this time of year and you're finding it a bit unsettling. And so, yes, we're definitely going to get to how you can kind of fill that space a bit more easily. Sometimes when we're in the times of equinox or solstice, things can become a little less stable because we rely on a lot of the earth energy's movement to kind of keep us moving in our life. And suddenly when there's a bit of an absence of it, it can feel like, oh, we've lost our ground a bit. All right, so make sure you've got a drink. If this is not your first time on a live webinar, you know that it's a great thing for you to do, to be drinking. Make sure you've got some water or whatever it is that you like to drink to hydrate, because when we do these exercises, even when we come together consciously in a certain energetic field like we are right now, then that increases your need for assimilation in your energy. You're going to integrate things, and the best way to integrate is to have a well hydrated system. So I see so many of your lovely comments. Hi from France, and hi Joe, Solly, so many of you, how wonderful. And yes, great to know that Jen, one of the amazing PhD members, is on the chat as well, so she'll be able to direct you if there's questions that I don't get to as well. Okay, and I see that the questions are coming in already, which is awesome. All right, so that's a good drink. So let's think about this time. And actually, let's just do a lovely grounding exercise together right now. I'm looking at the full moon, or the moon outside of the window, the most beautiful, beautiful crescent. I'm here in France at the moment, so I'm a little bit out of my own time zone, but wow, what an amazing time to be working together as a group. So if you're comfortable, then close your eyes. You can pop your hands either on your lower abdominal area, on your heart, or maybe for you, you like to have them on your thighs. A little bit will depend on whether you're sitting, whether you're lying, or just what's comfortable for you. And test them out. If you put your hands on your lower abdomen, but you have a feeling that maybe they want to move, then just pop them somewhere else. And for a moment, take your awareness into your body. Invite it, get curious. How's your body feeling right now? For many of you, it will be the end of the day. For some of you, I know it's the afternoon. So just breathe in. How are you doing today? How are you feeling? How is your body wearing the day? And if you notice anywhere there's tension, just take your breath there. Breathe into your shoulders, into your neck, into your lower back, finding your way to settle into your body. Wherever your hands were, let's bring them to the heart center. You can cross your hands over your chest if that's comfortable for you. And as you breathe in and out, feel that place where the palms of your hands and your chest touch. And just take your attention to that place, feeling it rising and falling, maybe feeling your heartbeat underneath it, maybe not. Whenever you consciously take your attention to your heartbeat, then your entire energy system pays attention as well and empowers your system to make those tiny adjustments. Feeling that rise and fall. Feeling the rhythm, the pattern. And know by engaging in that rhythm, you're part of the vast rhythm of life, the vast rhythm of this earth, with its morning sunrise and its evening sunset, with the rhythms of the seasons, the still points of the solstices, and the balance points of the equinox. Continue to feel into that rhythm, really being aware of where your palms and your chest meet. Feel the depth of that movement. You're going to leave one hand on your chest and the other one you're going to put on your head. And it may feel best to you to have it on the very top of your head. And it may feel best to have it on your forehead, or even on the forehead with your fingers going up and over towards the crown. Whatever feels good to you right now. Having checked them all out, for me, having one hand on my chest and one hand on my crown feels the most stable. So here we're connecting the rhythm, the wisdom, the power of the heart with the brain, helping your amazing brain waves entrain with the rhythm of your heart. Let's take 3 more full breaths here. Not asking anything different from your breath. However it is right now is perfect. Don't be surprised if you yawn or if you simply feel a sense of deepening relaxation as your heart and your head find that rhythm. And just to really bring that together, let's weave a figure 8 between the head and the heart. It doesn't have to be an exact figure 8. For some of you, you'll want to be encompassing the whole of the head and the throat and coming down with a smaller section at the bottom. And for others of you, there'll be a great big kind of bulbous 8 and a little bit. Doesn't matter. It's simply where your energy is already picking up. what's already happening. Your hands will be supporting it. You might want to change direction. Either way is fine. You might want to do it with both hands. Remember your breath. Maybe even remember your smile. And to finish, you can place your hands on your thighs again, or even back on your heart. Ah, that feels so great. My system definitely loving that connection, because right now in this equinox time, there's the offer of balance. Now that offer is beautiful, beautiful time in the system to kind of stretch and fill a bit more space. And at the same time, if there are imbalances in your system, you might well find that over these 2-3 days of the equinox that you feel even more out of balance. It's like those scales, if they're tilted one way, then that might be what really presents during this time. So anything that balances that heart and head system, it brings the opportunity for balance, for righting that equilibrium in your system, because one of the most important things is that your system knows how to be well. It knows how to balance. It knows how to be healthy. So when you give your system space, when you give it the opportunity just to find its own rhythm, it will take it. I've never seen an energy system refuse the offer of help. Never. No matter how super vigilant the system is, no matter how empathic you are, no matter what's going on, if you can support your energy systems in a way that invites communication and invites balance, your system will take it. And the minute it does that, amazing things start happening. Your chakras will shift, your aura will shift, your heart rhythm will shift, and that's what we were just working on then. So when that heart rhythm begins to pulse just a little bit differently, your whole system can come into coherence. Your heart governs your body systems, every single one of them, and your energy systems. So when that heart picks up its rhythm of balance, its rhythm of harmony, then your entire system needs to move in the same harmonious way. Feels good. All right, let's see what kind of questions are coming in. Let's pull them up. Okay. All right, so I see a few here. Awesome. Diane, you're asking, how can I have more energy during this time when you're so tired? That exercise I just showed. In fact, if you can, then let us know how you're feeling now, because that exercise frees up energy. Vicky, you are asking a really big question. How can you best stay above the fray and enter the higher frequency energies of the earth and out of the angry, frustrating vibrations that surround us in the real world? So the only way that you can do that is by being in your balance. And we all know that, don't we? Every single one of us know, oh, the peace has to start with us. And if we're in balance, we affect everyone around us. But it's so true. I've talked before about how when one person comes into a room and their system is moving in harmony, and that's not to say that there can't be all kinds of little blips going on in daily life, but if someone generally is moving through their life with energy systems that are cohesive and coherent, yeah, so they know how to fit together and they're moving in the patterns, in the big patterns that they need to. When someone is walking into a room with that kind of coherence in their system, then no matter what's going on in the energy systems of the people around them, those people begin to move into balance. The very, very first thing that happens, we have an amazing energy system that's just off the chest, and it comes from really deep in that energetic core. So that energetic core runs right through. If this is the first time you've ever come on to one of these live webinars and you really have no clue about energy anatomy, then go to my website and click on the energy anatomy pages there, because there's beautiful pictures about your energy systems. But imagine this immense energy that is at your core, running from beneath your feet to above your head. Now, from that exquisite energy, there comes a place just above the heart center where that energy comes out of your body system and sits just in front of you. Sometimes people talk about it being your North Star that you follow. There's various words for it. Carlos Castaneda, Donna Eden call it the assemblage point. And this magnificent light is the place where your essential energy shines forward. Now, when that person walks in a room and they're in balance, the very first thing that happens is everybody else's assemblage point becomes a little more enlivened. It's as if all of those other people on that amazing energetic level get a little boost of memory of how they can be in their best fullness, in their true well-being. So these assemblage points just kind of, it's almost like, you know, let's say the little head's down and then the little head rises. So they get this shift in their energy system, and from there information starts moving in and out of the individual system. It's not so much that the other person's energy is creating or affecting the big difference. It's that just that transmission of wellness begins to activate and enliven all of your coding in you that is geared towards wellness, that is geared towards that immense vitality that you have a right to experience. So, Vicky, to come back to your question, is that when you can actually just find your own equilibrium, then the effect you have in your world and in this world is massive. It's one of the things that we've really lost an understanding about, that individually you are so powerful in everything to do with your own life, but actually in the way that collectively we create the reality in the world that we live in. So that is the very best advice I can give for your words of kind of working with those frequencies of wholeness, of health. So the question becomes, how do you radiate your light? How do you find your balance and radiate that outside? And I'm not talking about being an amazing leader or shining it everywhere you can. I'm talking about nurturing that light in your energy system, so actually it's just continually radiating that balance, cohesion, peace, joy, laughter, ease, whatever the words are that would best describe what your fullness looks like. It's those quiet powers that you have in you that can make such a massive difference to everybody. And I'm sure you've experienced that. Maybe sitting around a family dinner table, and maybe there's someone that's got tension in them, and how that tension can be diffused simply by some kindness, by the life of the family continuing to move around the dinner table and that person finding their place in it. So it doesn't have to be direct, it doesn't have to be confrontational. It can simply be by you resonating, you vibrating with that resonance, then actually you make a massive difference. I've seen it a lot in the last while just with smiles. Go into a supermarket and of course many of us, I suspect all of us, are wearing masks at the moment, but if you go into the supermarket and you smile with your eyes at people, you see them smiling back, and more than that, you see that extra smile that they're putting in their eyes because you can't see the mouth. So it's those little efforts to extending kindness, extending community. Those are the ones that are making a big, big difference at this time. And it's really important for our children right now as well. That place of finding your own balance so that you can ground, you can stabilize, you can aid the resilience of children in your life. And maybe, I don't mean your biological children, these may be children of your neighbours that you come across in your garden or on the street. It can be maybe you work in a profession with children. They can be grandchildren. Any child right now, there's a lot going on for their system. There's a lot going on for all of our systems, but as adults, we have a bit more ability to make sense. A lot of the children right now, especially the modern children, it's a really big topic for me at the moment because I'm about to embark on a new course of parenting the modern child, because these modern children are wired so finely. They're incredibly sensitive to collective energy. So that collective energy right now, you've got the equinox energy of balance and asking us to look at what's out of balance. And you've got societal energies that through all of our leaderships at the moment are showing massive imbalance. Doesn't matter what side of the political spectrum you're on or a financial spectrum you're on, then I don't think anyone is going to disagree with the fact that right now we're in very uncertain times. As adults, that's uncertain. As children, it can be without foundation, because when children see that adults are really worrying, they're scared, they're unsure, they're upset, they're angry, they're frustrated, whatever it is. But as a collective, when that energy begins to rise, it's like we've pulled the rug from under our children's feet. And when I say children, really, I'm talking about from in the womb to kind of 19 or 20, to that place where actually they really take their place as adult, instead of being in those really fantastically volatile teenage years when they're moving between child and adult continually. So you being able to hold that balance, you being able to share that balance becomes really for me, I would define it as a sacred responsibility right now. You being in your balance is the biggest gift you can give to the world. So let's answer another question, and then I want to, my questions keep disappearing in this new format. Okay. Yeah, okay. I see some questions here. Let me just have a quick look. Yeah, Joanna, you're saying imagine a world where our leaders all entered the room in balance. We will get there. We have to hold that vision, otherwise it won't happen. Yeah, we have to have the trust, and maybe we're the leaders. All right, Marie Christine, you're asking a beautiful question I want to pick up. You teach mindfulness to kids at the elementary level, and you want to integrate some energetic exercises with them. What are some simple energy techniques that you could bring to them in order to help ground them and lower anxiety? I really hear you there, Marie Christine. There is so much anxiety in our youth right now. So first of all, make sure you walk into that mindfulness teaching really in your fullness. Then if we're thinking of some other exercise for children, there's so many, because it moves between, and we know it as adults, it moves between the collapse in the system where you feel really, really vulnerable and almost paralyzed in that, or the kind of outward explosion and expression. So let's think of best ones for that. Well, one of the very best, and especially with young kids, this one works brilliantly with young kids, is just, and it works brilliantly with adults too, is just to put your chin in your hands and place, I'm going to take my glasses off so I can do it properly, and just find the way to kind of rest your chin in your hands. Let's all do it together. And if you've got a desk in front of you, then pop your elbows on the desk. If you haven't, then you can always pop your elbows on your legs or your thighs. But just relax. So if you can bring your elbows together here, then do. If you can't, don't worry at all. And let's take a good breath here. This is also a great one to do with teenagers. They're generally very, very happy to rest into themselves like this. Another full breath. And now just sweep your hands over your head, behind your ears. And do that a few times. So you're just really smoothing. Maybe take another pause and have your chin relaxed, almost bowing your chin towards your heart. Another full breath here. Let's come back and just smooth. And kids love this. This is also an action, especially if you've got very little children. This is a great one to soothe for them. Feels so good to all ages. And then let's come and just pop now. If you're guiding children through this one, just invite them to put their hands here, but just also to tune in and see how it feels. Maybe it needs to be a bit lower. Sometimes, especially when children are really working out how to speak their truth, they don't want even their own hands in front of the throat chakra. So they might want to bring it down a bit, but just tell them to put their hands wherever is comfy. And again, just dropping that chin down comfortably towards your hands. Such a great balancing. This one really de-stresses and embraces the peaceful, the radiance, the calming. So for this equinox time, it's a beautiful, beautiful exercise to do. All right, let's see. Let's see what other questions are in. Okay. Anything else that I'm seeing? Okay, so some of you are saying that it really helped. The exercises calmed your heart right down. I hear the owl outside my window right now. Virginia, you're asking a beautiful question. It's a bit, I'm not going to cover it right here. It's all about autumn, and there's a few things. I'm about to, in a couple of weeks, start my autumn energetics program to really help align to autumn. So you might think about that, but I've also got a few things on my website and YouTube right now about autumn, so that might be good. All right. Let me see if there's another one that leaps up. Quite a lot. So Suzanne, you're saying that you're feeling a real emptiness in the heart. So I would just say keep breathing into it, yeah? So often when we feel something like that, we don't know how to support it. And then there's that feeling of kind of lostness. Well, even anywhere, like especially the heart, but whatever's going on, if you can take your hands to that area and just breathe as you're there and almost get curious, but don't work hard. Get curious about that. Be a little bit inquisitive. What is this heaviness? What is this emptiness? But keep your hands there as you do it. If at any point, as any of you are working with this equinox kind of seesawing of energies, then as you're sitting, as you're being quiet, as you're being curious, if you feel like emotions are really beginning to build, just bring one hand to the heart, one hand to the forehead, keep the other one wherever it is that you're working to support, because in doing that you connect so much of your de-stressing, your repatterning, your releasing energy. All right, let's see. Big questions at the moment because we're in big times, eh? There's one question I can't see it all. Let me see that. Ah, yeah. So, Venture, if that's how I say your name, I'm going to address this one because it's really really important, and this is something I've seen coming up, so I'm going to read it out. I'm feeling very stressed on the inside, like a desperate energy trying to find its way out to freedom, out of the stuckness, desperate for change, being able to set things in motion. Now again, that's a lot of what's going on in the collective. In fact, I think what you've just written there could really describe of how a lot of people are feeling, maybe even not on just a personal level, but that feeling like stagnancy, desperation for change, trying to initiate something into being. So use the energy that is around you at all times. Yeah, I think that's one of the real clues to being able to stay in your vitality, in your balance. And when you're not in your vitality and you're not into your balance, it's one of the clues to actually finding your way back. You're never alone. You're always embraced, surrounded by, living in the energy that's around you. So right now, it's this equinox. So be prepared to kind of sit in some stillness, support the balance in your system. As we move further on into autumn, then there's big shoves of movement in there. The October energy forecast will be coming out soon, and October is already moving towards us. This energy that's the most exquisite restful color, but also illuminating color. So once you just know that that's coming as well, yeah, that place of sort of being able to activate your own light, your own you have cells called biophotons, not cells, you have photons called biophotons, which are these amazing light cells that you're continually emitting, but they're a really powerful healing force for you. So when you breathe, you increase that. In fact, I wanted to share an exercise here because I think it's one I often work with at the equinox time. So let's do it. But one of the things that this does beautifully is it lights up your system and it allows that light to move. So let's do it together. You can stay sitting or standing, whatever's comfortable. Then let's start again with the hands on the heart. I'm thinking by now you've got some nice flow in your system, some nice groundedness, but let's take a breath in here and just let it out. Now this time as you breathe in, you're going to raise your left arm and just open it. And as you breathe out, then close the left palm back to the chest as you open the right one. So with each in-breath, you open your left. Out breath, you close your left and open your right. And you're going to do it in your own rhythm. Just slowly as you bring that palm back towards your heart. Find your rhythm, just knowing that each time you breathe in, you're going to switch one hand in and one hand out. And the same as you breathe out, of course. And as you breathe in, your system is bringing that fresh energy in. As you breathe out, that energy is emitting those beautiful light photons. And now you can change it up. You can keep with just that one at the heart if you want, but you can keep moving down through all of your midline. Down or up, you can keep moving through all of your midline. So as you breathe in this time, let's take that left hand out. And now as you breathe, bring it back to your body on the exhalation, put it wherever it wants to go. Maybe it's the head, maybe the heart, maybe the abdomen. And you're going to do it so that each time you open your hand, where it will come back to your body wherever it needs to come. So practice that. You can start on the heart, breathing out, breathing in rather as you open your arms, and just let that come back as you take the right hand out. I'm just going to find the rhythm with your breath again. In lots of ways here we're activating the chakras, but we're working especially with the aura, with your heart rhythm. Sometimes you'll find that the hand comes back to exactly the same place that it was before, and other times it will simply go to a new place in your body every time. But your entire energy system works with expansion and contraction. And this movement begins to encourage that and aid those places of imbalance, and really aid the places of balance too. So play with that. I would advise you always start at the heart, breathing in as you extend your left hand, bringing it back to the heart. Find your rhythm there first, so you might do that for 10, 15 breaths, something like that, and then get curious about where else the hand needs to go. Let's see, is there any questions about that? Melanie, you're asking a question I just want to pick on. You are asking, can you please clarify what system you're using when you say that September is liver time? So you understand, if you're trained in EEM, and as you are, then you understand that the meridians move in cycles. What I'm working with there is the tendinosinew meridians, and I've written some blogs about it in either the coronavirus connections, the coronavirus chronicles, or the connection chronicles. So look that up. I'll give you the full list of which tendinomuscular, also called the sinew. There are many different names, but they're essentially meridians that go deeper into the body, and they govern months. And they're really, really connected to the wind points or the pressure points. They're the reason that particular points blow. So amazing a system, but that's what I'm talking about yet. All right, lovely. So, and I see that Jen's already covered that question. Great. So I think we're over by a few minutes. So I think that is good to go. Is there anyone else? Brenda, you're asking a question. Do you breathe out with left hand and in with right? No, because once we start, then we're always moving the hands. So just start by breathing in as you open the left hand. The meridian of the heart on the left side of the body has a different resonance, so it really helps begin the exercise and take that energy in. All right, so hands on the heart, breathing in as you extend the left hand, and then just getting that rhythm of each time you put an arm out, the opposite arm comes in. Yeah. All right. A couple of you are talking about feeling dizzy, and is it related to equinox energy? It really can be. It really can be. Like I said, the space is suddenly there in your energy system, and that space for some of you will be really empowering, really comfortable. You'll love it. You'll expand into it. And for others of you, it will feel, oh my goodness, like things are just a bit rocky. All right. So fabulous. I'm very glad that we got the chance to share this. And yeah, I will be talking much more about children's energies in Parenting the Modern Child. That begins on Wednesday. And also we've got a class coming up next month about those amazing light cells in your body and how to really activate them. So I'm looking forward to sharing more time with you, and see you soon. Blessings on this amazing, amazing equinox. Bye bye.